Hi, I'm Kelsey, founder of Compleo, and we are passionate about treating the whole person, but with evidence-based information. And so I'm here with our registered dietitian, Kay, and something that there is a ton of information coming out around is vitamins and supplements. So this is, I'm sure we could talk for a whole day about this.
Yeah, for sure.
And for different populations. So just kind of in generics, how do we know our vitamins and supplements, do we need them as much as people are saying that we need them?
Okay. As a general rule, I would say no. In fact, the joke kind of out there among healthcare workers, including dietitians, is we have the most expensive urine in the world because we spend $200 or $300 and on supplements, and then we're just peeing it out, right?
Yeah.
So for the most part, if you eat a fairly well-balanced diet, you do not need supplements. There are some exceptions, which is why I think if there's someone, if we have a client who they're thinking they need this or that and they need to take all these different supplements, seeing a dietitian and kind of going through those, and yes, this might be helpful. For example, we know that magnesium glycinate is helpful with sleep. We know that there's another type of magnesium that can help with constipation. I'll just give this as an example. So what does a person take? So talking through some of those things is helpful because one of those might help someone. But as a general rule, just taking a lot of different vitamins, and I would say especially taking single vitamins like vitamin C, B vitamins, and then biotin, and then
have just
yes, it's just
pharmacy.
Yes, and we really most likely don't need all of those. Are there exceptions? Absolutely. Somebody goes in, they have a really low vitamin D level. We need to address that because that could affect your calcium absorption and your bones, right? That could be serious. But as a general rule, unless we see something like that, you just don't need a lot of these individual vitamins. Vitamin C in large amounts can be very irritating to the digestive system. And I will see people taking upwards of 2,000 milligrams a day. And then they're telling me that, they have like gastritis symptoms. It could be all of the ascorbic acid that you're getting. So I think it's really good to, if you have doubts, but you think, I really would like to take some of these for my health, talk to somebody that knows. Because it really is popular right now to take a lot of different things. And there's a lot of things out there that might be helpful in some cases, but not necessarily for the general population.
Are there, what about just like the recommendation for like general for kids or adults? Pregnant women where you get told to take a prenatal. Is there a benefit for all ages of doing just a general multivitamin, or do our kids even need to not have to do that?
Yeah. So pregnant women, of course, is an exception. We want them to take that prenatal vitamin. It's got the folic acid in it. You actually absorb folic acid very well from a supplement when you're pregnant, which a lot of the vitamins we don't absorb that well from a supplement. That's an exception. So we definitely like that prenatal vitamin. And then when you have a baby, they may need some additional vitamin D. They may need some additional iron. That's totally appropriate, right? As the baby grows, if you want to do just a little multivitamin every day that they take for, I'm going to kind of call it insurance. If they're a little bit picky and they don't eat very many vegetables, there's nothing really wrong with doing that. You definitely want to keep them out of their reach. A lot of the vitamins are very appealing now because they're very much like a gummy bear and can be very dangerous if they were to get the bottle and eat all of them. So you need to make sure that you monitor that. So children, I'm fine with that. Don't have a problem with that. Teens, they may need one or they may not. If they eat very well and they eat a variety of foods, they probably don't need them, right? Yeah. And the same for adults. And like I said, with magnesium and some of the other supplements, there may be an exception. But if you eat a variety of foods, the nutrients are much better absorbed from whole foods. We know this.
Yeah. So if you're deficient in your blood work, really the first line should be working with the dietitian to see if you're not getting it in your foods.
Right.
And that might take care of it without having to commit to spending hundreds of dollars a month for indefinitely. Right. I think that's the other hard thing with some of these supplement routines. It may or may not make you feel better, but realistically, are we going to pay this amount of money every single month?
Right.
For if we don't figure out how to fix that in our diet.
Mm-hmm. And some people don't realize that some vitamins and minerals kind of interfere with the absorptions of others when it gets all out of whack. So that's why I was saying avoid taking single vitamins and minerals unless it's something like the magnesium that I talked about.
Yeah. And that is a good, we had put Scotty, the pelvic floor therapist here, had recommended the magnesium version for constipation.
Yes.
And he got his hands into it and he gave himself a clean out.
I bet he did. Yeah.
Unintentional and nothing. It ended up luckily not being anything dangerous, but they are appealing. They put a little sugar on them and make them look pretty. So, well, that's great advice. I think we really should just encourage everyone to, again, talk with the dietitian, specifically a dietitian about it and how they could be interacting and make up an individualized plan themselves. So if you are out there and you have lots of vitamin and supplement questions, work with the dietitian to come up with an individualized plan that will probably save you some money in the long run, even if you're paying for a couple of dietitian visits. And if you liked this, like and subscribe below.